Welcome to the Author Studio at Book Expo America 2013 in New York City. We're sitting with Daniel Harmon. He's written a book called, and I need to read it because it's a long title, Super Pop. Pop culture lists to help you win at trivia, survive in the wild, and make it through the holidays. That covers just about everything, doesn't it?
Almost, yeah.
And Daniel, nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Is this your first book?
This is I've contributed before, this is my first full book. Yes.
And how was the experience?
It was awful. It took a huge amount of time, a lot of effort, but it was also really fun throughout, from the planning and making the list to actually writing them. I mean, it kind of taught me a lot, and I think kind of did actually make me a kind of more well-rounded human, while also certainly entertaining me throughout. So.
Well, you picked a great topic. I mean, pop culture entails just about anything
right.
and everything. There's so much of it out there right now, isn't
yeah,
it?
Right. And I tried to use a pretty kind of broad lens for this. So by pop culture, I was taking in everything from opera to, to the poppiest of pop TV shows. I tried to get it all in there: comic books, video games, podcasts. Nothing was sort of off limits.
Well, what's your background?
I've actually been doing pop culture editorial work for really the duration of my career in publishing, which is now like 9 years. So I've done pop culture acquisitions. I wrote for a few blogs, but yeah, mainly acquisitions work and sort of, trying to do books that would appeal to a broad audience, whether in libraries, whether they're teenagers, or just general patrons or general book buyers. And now at Zest, what I'm doing is really working to find a way of creating books that are going to be appealing to adults and also accessible to teenagers. And that's something that Super Pop, I think, attempts to do as well.
Yeah, now in the book Super Pop, you do a lot of top 10 lists.
Yeah.
But they're not like really simply titled top 10 lists. It's not like best website. I mean,
right.
Let me read one of the titles of the top 10 lists. Very quirky. Outwit Death, Essential Lessons in Survival. And then there's another one, Achieve Mindfulness, movies that will show you the way, with wise elders now included. How did you come up with these names?
I was basically looking for a way to, get beyond the sort of standard stock top 10 list, which I really enjoy, but which I do feel like kind of leave us flailing for really new material if we know that there's something that we kind of like. So,
and really you can make up anything you want, right?
Exactly. There's no limits here. So I would try to find themes that I felt kind of encouraged me immediately to select 2 or 3 major must-haves. And then from there I really had to do the work to dig up items that were really relevant. And if a list simply couldn't be filled out, I had to kind of let it go.
Give me your favorite top 10 list in the book and 2 or 3 items from that top 10 list.
All right, I'm going to split this answer up, I think, and maybe go to the source here. But okay. I think the one that I was really most excited about doing was the Christmas top 10 list. We have a section on surviving the holidays. And so I, for many years, have been doing a Christmas movie marathon, and so every Christmas season I would go to the kind of standard top 10 list. I would try and find new selections in there, and just kind of kept on seeing Batman Returns, and also It's a Wonderful Life, these kind of items. And although I love these movies, Die Hard, I really wanted to get beyond that, and so this list was my chance to plug in, say, 3 Days of the Condor, which I think is an amazing holiday movie, which features Robert Redford when he was young. Right. It's referenced in Out of Sight. Very well shot, an amazing thriller. It's also this crazy spy metaphor is working throughout. It's a really weird but great 70s movie that really hones in on the kind of loneliness of the holidays. So I was really excited to kind of plug that into the standard Christmas list. That also has Elf and a few other kind of new classics in the genre. But the other list that I was, I think, really excited about was the podcast list, because I think podcasts are an area of pop culture where there's a ton of great material out there, but a lot of people just don't really know where to start. And so things like the Slate Gabfests are all incredible and have a ton of great information, really smart, vibrant hosts, and really can kind of show you how to think through a lot of topics like sports, politics, that you might otherwise not be inclined to sort of pick up.
Did the Book Expo America podcast make your list?
It did.
It should
not.
after
next
you go.
edition.
Yeah, you're going to go up on that. But I should have probably asked you this question at the very beginning. What is your definition of pop culture?
I tried to not define it at all. I think basically if it entertains you, if it entertains anyone, I felt like that was pop cultural enough for me. So if there was something that was created and originally it was high culture, but at this point it's begun sort of seeping in, whether it's through references in the movies, I think that is that counts. And on the flip side, if there is something that really just kind of didn't make the radar, but that was really lowbrow, I think, as long as it's out there and it's being consumed by enough people that there's a kind of audience building or an audience there, that's part of the pop culture that I'm looking at.
It is such a fun topic and such a broad topic, but you're not just trying to entertain, you're trying to educate as well, aren't you?
Yeah, my feeling is that...
Or you're just saying that.
No, I really am. Sadly or not, we'll see. But when I was at one point, I was really kind of struggling to find a way of really just kind of getting excited about the culture that was around me. I felt like there were not as many options as I would have liked, and I was struggling to find sort of new outlets. I felt like I was sort of consuming the same kinds of books, the same kinds of movies. And at that time, I felt like I'd exhausted a lot of my resources, and podcasts were one of the things that really did sort of open my eyes, not just to new entertainments, but also, I think, really filling me in on the world at large. So, and through that and the recommendations that I found there, getting interested in video games, I think all of these, just in even watching watching video game reels, it really is incredible to see the sort of storytelling that's happening there. I mean, there's always so much creativity out there in this kind of vast American culture that there's no shortage of really exciting, really fun entertainment that also can kind of teach us something about how to live in the world.
Well, see, you said at the beginning it was an awful experience writing the book. It sounds like you had fun. The research was fun. The actual writing was tough, right?
Well, it's almost 500 items, so each entry required a lot of research, and with each entry I tried to make it fun, make it so it didn't feel like the same entry 500 times, and also say something new about the given topic. So really 500 really tiny essays, and that writing in a way that was clear and fun to read, that was, I think, the biggest challenge of this. But certainly the book project as a whole was immensely fun. I mean, I will have to go back on that answer.
Good. Yeah. He is Daniel Harmon. Once again, the name of the book is Super Pop, Pop Culture Lists to help you win at trivia, survive in the wild, and make it through the holidays. And we made it through this interview.
We did.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.